Hi guys, welcome back to Unashamed Rome 116, where we dive boldly into the Word of God, unfiltered, unpolished, unashamed, because God is unintimidated by our thoughts and our doubts. My name is Elena, and you are welcome. So today we're going through Job chapter 17 up to chapter 20. So, Job 17. Job speaking, he says, "My breath is corrupt, my days are extinct, the graves are ready for me. Are there not mockers with me, and doth mine eyes continue in their provocation? Lay down now, put me in a surety with thee. Who is he that will strike hands with me? For thou hast hid their heart from understanding, therefore shalt thou not exalt them." So Job is saying that he feels like he's just ready to die. And sometimes we are brought to that point where you feel like it will just be better for me to die. Sometimes things are so difficult and you're like, maybe it will be better, but it will not. It will not be better. Things do get better. Your best days are always ahead of you. The Bible says that the path of a righteous man shines brighter and brighter. So just because things look dim today, you should not give up. Why would you give up before seeing the bright days? Life is supposed to be enjoyed. Life is good. And if you're not born again, you have a chance to join the family so that you know that your days are also going to be getting brighter and brighter every day. And in verse 2 to 4, Job is saying that even his friends are mocking him, even the people that he thought are supposed to comfort him are the ones who are mocking him. And sometimes we are in Job's place where you're down and you don't see anyone comforting you, or the people that you thought will be there for you are not, or are busy, or mocking you. And most of the times, we're Job's friends, like we are friends of people who are going through things, and let you not be the reason that somebody gives up. Even if that person is the one in the wrong, be Christ like. You remember when Jesus saw that woman who was about to be stoned? Yes, she was the one in the wrong, but Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you." If Jesus can say that, what about us? We're all sinners. Let us give hope to others. Let us not be like Job's friends who are just telling him, "Oh, you have been wicked. That's why these things are happening to you." Maybe that is true, but at that point, are you really helping somebody by saying that? Especially when it comes to irreversible things. I just thought about like teenage pregnancies or pregnancies out of wedlock, like things that are irreversible, or somebody going to jail. Like at that point, what use is it you telling somebody, "You see, I told you, see, now this is happening, all of this is your fault"? Like at that point, are you really helping them? When somebody has gotten pregnant, are you really helping them by mocking them? Are you really helping them by saying you did the wrong thing? They already know at that point. Maybe you can just mention it very briefly because they do know that they did wrong. And at that moment, they're not looking for somebody to heap coals on their head. They're looking for a place of comfort. And you can see Job here. He's saying that God is the one who has done this to him. But Job is saying, "Lord, stand as my guarantor. Defend me because no human being will." Sometimes you're brought to that place where you feel like nobody else is going to understand you, nobody else is going to defend you, nobody else is going to be there for you, but God will. God will always be there for you. We understand that it is important to correct people, but let it be done with love. The truth should set free, it should not kill. We are fighting the sin, not the sinner. Verse 6, He that made me also a byword of the people, and aforetime I was a tabret. Mine eye also is dim by reason of sorrow, and all my members are as a shadow. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. So Job is saying that right now he's a byword, like he's an insult. People are like, don't be like Job, don't be like Job. And sometimes people do bad things and we keep on saying, don't be like that person. But what do you think that person feels like? Yes, they might be wrong or they might be right. In this instance, people thought that Job was wrong. So we cannot really say those people are wicked because they did think that actually Job is bad. That's why he's being punished like this. So it's a call to us when we see bad people or see somebody who has done a bad thing, and we're the first ones to mock them, to speak ill about them, to make memes about them, and all of these things. Are we really being Christ like? He is physically and emotionally broken, and people's reaction to his suffering reveals their hearts. When you see somebody suffering, the way you are going to react to that, it it shows a lot about you. Verse 9, The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. Job is saying that his suffering will inspire other people's faith. For your suffering to inspire people's faith, you you need to be rooted in God. Do not leave God. Do not complain. I know it's very difficult. And another difficult thing is to feel like you did not deserve what has happened to you, because we all sinners, right? So when these things happen to us, the first thing we remember that time that we lied, that time we forgot to pray, and we remember all these things and we feel terrible. We feel like we do not even deserve to ask God for mercy. We do not even deserve to ask why all this is happening, because we feel like we have been bad. But even if you have been, God's mercies endures forever. And even if at that time you cannot tell God, why are you doing this to me? Because you feel like you know the answer, you can still worship God. You can still thank God, because God corrects the ones that He loves. Thank God that He loves you and that He is teaching you through whatever is happening. Instead of focusing on the circumstance, focus on God. Instead of focusing on your sin, focus on God. Instead of focusing on your shortcomings, your constant failures, just focus on God. Verse 13, Job says, If I wait, the grave is mine house. I have made my bed in the darkness. I have said to corruption, Thou art my father, to the worm, Thou art my mother and my sister. And where is now my hope? As for my hope, who shall see it? They shall go down to the bars of the pit, where our rest together is in the dust. Job is saying, if he does give up and now all he is waiting for is death, and just for him to die and to decay with the worms, where is his hope? What was the meaning of all of this if all of this is just to die? Sometimes when we're in difficult situations, we tend to lose sight of everything. Every good thing, we forget it. Every good memory that we have ever had, we forget it. Every beautiful tree, every beautiful flower, every cloud that we saw, and we were just like, wow, we forget everything. And we just look at the situation and we feel like the situation has really overcome us and there's nothing that we can do. And we hyperfixate on the situation, hyperfixate on the circumstance, that we forget to look at God who can see the end from the beginning, who can see your way out. Why would God bring you here to suffer? God loves you. And in the depths of your pain, even if you feel like your own sin caused the pain, in the depths of it, do not look at the circumstance. Look at God, because God defines everything. The circumstance does not define your whole life. It's like me defining my whole life with the fact that yesterday I ate bread. It sounds very absurd. Do not define your life by that circumstance. Do not look at yourself and see like it's just better if I die because of that circumstance. Job chapter 18. Now Bildad speaks. He says, how long will it be ere ye make an end of words? Mark, and afterwards we will speak. Wherefore are we counted as beasts and reputed vile in your sight? He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? And shall the rock be removed out of his place? Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. This is sometimes what we tell our friends when they have done something wrong, or we tell to people online when their lives are crumbling down because they made a mistake, and we're telling them, this is what you deserve. Did you think everything will go on well? You're a wicked person. That's why this is happening to you. Is that really giving hope to that person? Will that person see that and be like, wow, you know what? You're so right. Let me go back to Christ. If you were supposed to be Christ like, is condemning them like that? He continues to say, the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straitened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. Yes, all of this is true about a wicked person, but why would you be telling this to your friend who is suffering? We accepted it fine for the first few chapters, but up to now, seriously? Bildad, this was so bad. I even had to look for the Hebrew word for friend so that I can ensure that they were actually his friends. It is so weird what sort of friends we can have. Verse 18, Bildad says, he shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. So he's basically saying this is what is going to be happening to you. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, saying this to somebody whose children have just died, nor any remaining in his dwellings. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before him were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not God. So you're going to this person who is suffering and you're saying, you're suffering because you're wicked and you're going to die, and this is the fate of everybody who does not believe in God. You're going to that person who is just about to kill themselves, and you're like, yeah, do it, because you think maybe they will not. Why would you say that? You're going to that sick person who has been maybe mocking people, or that influencer, like for those who know Clara Dow. She was this influencer that was very all about body positivity, and then she went and had plastic surgery. And at that time, I had not been on social media for quite some time. So when I came back and I was like, oh, this is weird, and I'm checking the comments and everyone is bashing her. And I'm like, You telling her this, are you really giving back to her what she gave to you? Yes, she made a mistake. Yes, somebody has made a mistake, but why would you be harsh to somebody? That's why people read this book and say that the friends of Job were the devil. Chapter 19. How long will ye vex my soul and break me in pieces with words? Job says. He's literally telling his friends, how long are you going to keep on breaking me with your words? Because you know, words is something that you cannot take back. So you should be very, very careful with your words. This 10 times have ye reproached me. Ye are not ashamed that ye make yourselves strange to me. And be it indeed that I have erred, my error remaineth with myself. He's saying that, okay, fine, maybe if I did make a mistake, the mistake does not concern you. It is with myself. If indeed ye will magnify yourselves against me and plead against me my reproach, know now that God hath overthrown me and hath compassed me with his net. Behold, I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, but there is no judgment. He hath fenced up my way that I cannot pass. He hath set darkness in my paths. You know, I can just imagine if his friends were telling him this and his wife was also telling him just curse God and die, and everything was gone and there was no other reason left for him to live according to the way we would define it. What if he had just ended his life like we do? What would have his friends said instead of giving him hope that they did this? Verse 17, Job says, my breath is strange to my wife, though I entreated for the children's sake of mine own body, even his wife. Very sad. Yea, young children despised me. I arose and they speak against me, probably because the parents were speaking ill about Job. All my inward friends abhorred me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. My bone cleaveth to my skin and to my flesh, and I am escaped to the skin of my teeth. Have pity upon me, have pity upon me, O ye my friends, for the hand of God hath touched me. Why do ye persecute me as God, and are not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were now written, oh, that they were printed in a book. Oh my goodness, they are printed in a book. Okay. That they were graven with an iron pen and lead in the rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand on the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin warms, destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God. But ye should say, why persecute we him, seeing the root of the matter is found in me? In Message translation, it's saying, if you're thinking, how can we get through to him? Get him to see that his trouble is all his own fault. Forget it. Start worrying about yourselves. Worry about your own sins and God's coming judgment. For judgment is most certainly on the way. So he's saying, if you're thinking that, how can we get through to him and tell him that all his trouble is his own fault? Probably at that point, people already know that whatever they have been doing is coming back to them, and we don't really have to rub it that much on their faces. Verse 20, now Zophar speaks. Therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer, and for this I make haste. I have had the check of my reproach, and the spirit of my understanding causes me to answer. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? My goodness, are this his friends? How can you be telling somebody who is suffering that the triumphing of the wicked is short and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Now, these are the fake friends that we're talking about, because what do you mean? It's so sad that everybody had left Job and his friends. This this is this is what he has left. Better to be left with nothing at this point. He continues to say, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. My goodness, what is wrong with him? Because I would have slapped this man. My goodness. I'm scrolling down because I'm reading on a Bible app. I'm waiting to see where Job beat these people up, because what do you mean? Oh my goodness, what is wrong with them? And it's so ridiculous how we are also like Job's friends sometimes. Like, we really mock people when they're going through stuff. And we're like, yeah, you sinned. That's why you're like this. And we're also sinners. We're just redeemed through God. But when we see somebody getting what we think is needful for them, and then now we go bashing them and we say, now you're getting what you deserve. Look at you, now you're failing. But what about you? Are you fully righteous? Are you perfect? Have you never made a mistake? If you have never made a mistake, be the first one to throw the stone. If you're fully righteous, if you have never done any wrong in your life, be the first one to say that hate comment, to go and say, that's what you get. And so many people leave the church because, say, they did something wrong, or somebody found out that maybe they've been sleeping around, or maybe they stole, or maybe they get pregnant. And when the church finds out, they're like, shame on you, and you be coming to church. How could you do that? I knew you were not a good person. Why are you doing that? Are you really being Christ-like? And it is just so frustrating how we do this to people. And now you're seeing Job here. He would have given up on life. He would have given up on everything just because the people who are supposed to be there for him were not there for him. And if you're listening to this, my goodness, do not be the person who's gonna make somebody lose hope. Be the person who's gonna be maybe even the last string of hope for somebody. Somebody was going to give up, but be that person who's gonna encourage them. I'm not saying encourage people to do bad things, but once somebody has done the wrong thing, when somebody is suffering, what is the essence of going to, but what is the essence? What exactly are you doing? Just search your heart and ask yourself, why are you doing this? Are you doing this from love? Are you? And I'm not saying that Job was a sinner or all of that, but we've already established that nobody is perfect and we all go through things that are supposed to teach us. And Job had something that he was supposed to be taught. So he was not being punished. Job 20, the last verse. Zophar speaks and says, this is the portion of a wicked man from God, and the heritage appointed unto him by God. Crazy work. If you are perfect, if you have not sinned, be the first one to throw the stone. I hope you were blessed by this episode. Until next time, come curious, come messy, come unashamed. I love you. Bye-bye.